Hi guys, I'm Manu and welcome to another episode of Sweet Money. I'm a CPA from Canada and the US. I've got a cool little accounting firm, better known as Shandel CPA. I haven't produced a video in 3.5 months due to tax season and some personal commitments, but I'm back at it and I will be launching 2 videos every week. That's the goal. So I hope to have your continued support. And like always, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. I am more than happy to oblige. So this session, for those of you that are new, is called Chilling with My Favorite Accountant. So I just talk about things that are bothering me. This is my therapy session and you are my therapist. I'm going to talk about things that I've noticed, that I've read, that are happening around the world, locally, and I just vent. And I let it all out. I feel great. And you guys are going to listen and we're going to have a great relationship. All right. You guys are my free therapists. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, the fires that are taking place in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. It's terrible. And for those of you who've been directly affected, I hope you're in a safe place and please rest assured, you will bounce back. It's just the fight that we have in ourselves as human. We're very resilient. History has shown it. So my prayers are with you, and I am 100% sure those of you that are affected, you will bounce back and you'll come back stronger than ever. And I do wish you all the best. And like I said, our prayers are with you. The election, it was a big thing. I wanted to talk about it back in April, but I just couldn't. So I just need to vent right now. The polls back in end of 2024, early 2025, the conservatives are winning by a landslide. It was supposed to be like a no-brainer as to who was going to win. And then out of nowhere, Carney shows up and people get all googly-eyed upon his arrival, and the dude wins, and he wins. And I was very disappointed. I was very surprised. There was a lot of anger towards my fellow Canadians. Like, how can we do this to ourselves? Wasn't 10-year window big enough for you to realize the amount of damage the left ideology does to a country? And people say, oh, Carney is different. He's an economist. So what if he's an economist? It doesn't change anything. And the reason why I say that is, yes, Carney speaks better than Trudeau. Yes, he presents better than Trudeau. Yes, he has a presence that Trudeau did not have. That's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, the people that are funding the Liberal government, the corporations, the international organizations, the NGOs, their agenda has not changed. Their agenda is what it is, right? His vote bank has not changed. So what makes you think, if everything else around him is consistent, what makes you think his policies will change, right? This slogan was so annoying, elbows up. Just because you're on the ice with the Edmonton Oilers, who's a hockey team, the National Hockey League, just because you're skating with these guys doesn't mean you're a hockey guy. Okay, let's get that straight. And elbows up is a hockey term, which does not apply to the Liberals because they do not fight for anyone. And the only thing that's going to go up is inflation is going to go up. The interest rates are going to go up. Unemployment is going to go up. Crime is going to go up. Migration of illegal individuals that we do not want in this country is going to go up. And the only thing that's going to come down is the Canadian dollar. Okay. So this is my prediction for the next 4 years. And let's see if I'm proven right or wrong, right? And one metric that's really important to look at is the unemployment rate. And the unemployment rate is now at 7%. When Carney came in power in April, it was 6.8. Then it went to 6.9, and now it's at 7%. Back in October 2024, the unemployment rate was 6.6%. So I mean, unemployment rate is the key economic indicator as far as I'm concerned. People look at GDP and this and that, but for me, it's the unemployment rate. And it's heading in the wrong direction. People are blaming it on the tariffs, but I mean, the tariffs have been applied to practically every country out there, right? Not just Canada. And yes, the Americans are our largest trading partner, but we've known about these tariffs now for 6-7 months. We should have pivoted or started to pivot 6 months ago. Well, we didn't, and we still haven't, right? All we're hoping for is that that Trump is nice to us. He doesn't need to be nice to you. What you need to do as Canadians is we need to go find alternative trading partners. But I guess there's a common theme here, and the theme is that we're suckers for punishment, right? We want to keep bringing the liberals. We want to keep trading with the U.S., even though they're treating us like they're a younger brother that you beat up on the weekend, right? So it's really concerning. As a Canadian, it's very, very concerning. The housing market has been a huge topic. Condo market is dead. And the housing market outside, and when I say housing, I'm talking about detached and semi-detached freehold properties. Freehold properties are also struggling, especially outside the 406 core area. Supposedly the 406 core is doing okay, but outside of that, it's a disaster. Homes are sitting there for 5-6 months. There's 10 months worth of supply for condos in the downtown core. It's a disaster. People are dropping prices, and it's just a lot of realtors have actually left the industry, and they're now trying to find jobs. So it's dire straits in the real estate market. And once again, land transfer tax could have been eliminated by now. Carney hasn't done that, and it's the only leverage he had, and he's not using that leverage. He could have done something regarding the land transfer tax and the sales tax that are embedded in the price of homes, right? He also could have removed the HST that real estate agents charge when they sell a house. They could kind of like dentists, they don't charge HST. They could do the same thing with real estate. A realtor will not charge HST, and it would save the seller a few $1,000s. Small changes, but they help. And none of that has been done, right? And what does he throw out? He just throws out excuses. I guess moving on, there was an article I came across on October 9th. It was in the National Post. And the article goes on to say that 50% of students in Canada cannot pass the math curriculum. And to me, this was very concerning. It's not concerning because the percentage is so high at 50%. What's concerning is that the education system in Canada is so poor. It's such a third-class education system where even in such low standards, our students are struggling, right? So if our Canadian students went to India or China or other parts of the world, that 50% would probably drop to maybe 10%. 90% would be inadequate. And this is going to leave us behind on the global stage because the economy, a country's economy is no longer at a micro level, it's at a macro level. We now compete with people around the world. And if you don't know the basics, such as math, you won't be able to compete, right? The big corporations will not want you. Even local small businesses will not want you. I have hired a lot of graduates and students, and none of them have been able to survive they just don't have the attention span. They can't go 5 minutes without looking at their phone. They don't want to. They clock watch, right? Is it 4 o'clock? Can I go home now? It's not about delivering a quality product. It's all about, I came at 9, I came at 4, so be it. And I even hired one student when I realized how lethargic these kids are. I hired one student. I said, you know what? I will give you a percentage of the billing. So whatever I bill on a file, you'll get a percentage. In addition, if you bring in a client, I will keep the percentage that I give you, and you will keep the percentage that I keep. So in other words, you will keep the majority of the billing if you bring in a client. And I thought this sense of equity, the sense of ownership would motivate them. They could have doubled, tripled their salary, but the result was the exact same. Their priorities are not in the right place. It's very, very concerning. It's very concerning. CPA Ontario just launched a report that came out, and it said in the next 10 years, 75% of all CPAs will retire or leave the profession, which meaning there's going to be a huge shortage in the next coming years. And on top of that, what makes it worse is that the enrollment in the accounting program is at an all-time low. So you've got students who aren't coming in, or those who do enroll in accounting end up leaving in the first 2 years. And then we have this influx, or actually not an influx is coming in. There's an outflux of people that are looking to leave. So it's going to be dire straits. And for people like myself who want to grow, who want to employ people, because the work is out there, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to grow. So what I have to do every year is I just have to cut back and reduce and get rid of my bad clients is what I do. Because I can't grow unless I find the people that I need. And it's good. I mean, it allows for a better quality of life, but it also doesn't allow me to create employment and help grow the economy. And that bothers me because I could do more for the Canadian economy, but I can't. My hands are tied. It is what it is. Now, for you younglings, you young adults, the unemployment rate is quite high amongst the 18 to 35-year-old. I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but I think it's in the high teens or maybe even low 20s by now because the unemployment rate is going up. So it's high teens, low 20s. And listen, I just want to say something to all you guys out there. And this is on a positive note, okay? So yes, you guys have your flaws, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I've said this before. You young adults, it's not your fault. It's the parenting. It's this woke method of parenting, this liberal method of, not liberal the party, but the whole liberal mindset, socialist method of parenting that has destroyed several generations. And I think the tide will have to turn. The pendulum will have to swing back the other way. There's no choice. But now what's happened is young adults, either A, you don't want to work, and B, you're taking these really odd degrees in university that really have no market value, such as like a major in history or anthropology and I don't know, like, you know, women's studies. I mean, it's great, sure, fantastic. It's great for, you know, dinner time conversation, but there's no jobs. Like there's no jobs in these fields, right? So think about where you're investing all this money in 4 years of your life, right? Do some research. And I'm just at a loss of words. I'm at a loss of words. And then these kids graduate, they can't find jobs, they give up. There's no desire for those who are finding jobs. They're being let go because They don't want to work hard. They don't want to apply themselves. They refuse to go to the office. And because they're not going to the office, they're not developing the skills that they need to develop in order to enhance their career. They're not learning how to business develop. They're not learning how to sit in a boardroom and conduct a meeting. They're not learning from their peers different skill sets because they're just sitting at home in front of their computer. So they can't see what the others are doing. That sense of collaboration doesn't exist. And then what happens is after a year or two, they want these promotions, these unreasonable demands based on very little knowledge that they have. There's just no correlation. Like, this is their knowledge and this is what they want. It just doesn't tie in, right? So then they get discouraged and they all want to become these, they want startups. Startups is a new big thing. Every second a young adult I speak with, they want to get a startup going. Okay. And let me give you some breaking news. Less than 10% of all startups are successful. So if you think you're going to have this startup and make hundreds of millions of dollars, your chances are in the single digits, right? I'm not saying it can't be done, but it takes a lot of effort, a lot of commitment, a lot of sacrifice. So make sure you do your research before you jump into a startup. Speak to someone who has started a startup, okay? But if you are looking for a quick win, if you are looking for a job that pays really well, has a lot of demand, might not be affected by AI, then get yourself in the trades. There are tons of jobs in the trade sector. The education process of getting there isn't as time consuming. It won't take you 4 to 7 years, right, to become a qualified, registered tradesperson, whether it's electrician, plumber, bricklayer, carpenter, whatever it is, right? We can't find people. HVAC. I mean, try calling someone now to get your AC fixed. It won't be easy, right? In the wintertime, try calling someone to get your furnace fixed. It won't be easy. Call the plumber. Good luck. These people are hard to find. These skill sets are hard to find. And there's a lot of money to be made in these trades. So it's just excuses, guys. Get off of this sense of entitlement, right? And put your shoulders down, head down, and start working, right? Start becoming something. The opportunities are out there, right? Yes, I mentioned in the beginning that our government is destroying our nation. The financial KPIs are not heading in the right direction. Our GDP is suffering, unemployment suffering, our housing market's a mess, so on and so forth. Crime is up, right? With all these migrants coming in, crime is up. But it doesn't mean that you cannot succeed, right? The opportunities are out there, and those who are willing to seek those opportunities, those who are willing to put in the time, will do well, right? Will do well. So no more excuses, and let's get going. So we need you young adults to fund my pension. So I need you guys to start working and start making something of yourselves. And remember, it all starts with a simple conversation.